What are systems?
Systems are organized parts that interact together to complete the whole.
For example, we students are components, or parts, of the school system. There are other components of the school system: lockers, doors, teachers, computers, books, and many more. The parts work together to perform a function. The school's function is to educate their students. A part is the same as a component. These are any pieces of the larger system. Students and teachers would be parts of the school system.
There are many other systems besides schools. Let's look at a few examples.
A phone is also a system. The phone system has parts: the battery, the screen, the processor, and much more. The function of the phone would be to communicate, send messages, take and store photographs, and much more. So what is function? The function is what the system is designed to do. What can systems be? Systems can be organisms, machines, ideas, numbers, or atoms. Systems can be anything with several parts working together to perform a function. So what are boundaries? Boundaries are the outer edges of the system. For example, the phone's case and screen would be its boundary. And what are the types of boundaries? There are solid boundaries, and there are imaginary boundaries. Like the imaginary boundary of this coffee mug. Or the imaginary boundary of this convertible car. This car system has parts: the motor, the wheels, the tires, and much more. Some of these components are subsystems. Subsystems are systems within larger systems. The motor is a subsystem because it has several parts that work together to perform a function. Run the motor. But the motor is part of a larger system. The car. Some parts are subsystems. When more than one part works together to perform a function within a larger system. The motor, the transmission, and the radio. Not all parts are subsystems. If the part is made up of just one component, then it is just a part. For example, the tire is just a part. So, every system is really just a subsystem of a larger system. Let's see how.
Atoms are the building blocks of all matter. Atoms are systems because they are made up of three parts: protons, neutrons, and electrons. These work together to give the atom its structure and characteristics.
These atoms are the components that make up cells. Cells are the building blocks of all life forms. Cells are also systems. The parts of the cells that are shown in the model work together to help the cell survive.
These cells are the components that make up the respiratory system, and the other systems in our bodies. The respiratory system is made of parts like the lungs, nostrils, and others in the diagram. These parts work together to create the respiratory system.
But the respiratory system is a part of the body system. The body system is composed of the circulatory, nervous, and other systems you can see in the diagram.
We are just a system of body systems like the ones pictured here. The human body is a system made of parts.
We are part of the school system.
The school is part of the city system. This also includes the people, roads, other buildings, and much more.
The city is part of the state system. This includes the other cities, people, cars, animals, and any other part of the state.
The state is part of the USA system. This includes the other 49 states, the cities, the people, the trees, and much more. The USA is part of the world system, with the other countries, the atmosphere, and the oceans.
The Earth is part of the solar system. This includes the other parts, the other planets, the Sun, the asteroids, and more. Our solar system is part of the Milky Way galaxy system, with all of the other solar systems and stars.
The Milky Way is a subsystem of the universe with all of the other galaxies. Each system is really just a subsystem of a larger system, starting with the atom being a subsystem of the cell being a subsystem of the respiratory system, and so on.
So what is system interaction? First, this is the fact that each system is really just a subsystem of another larger system like we just saw. Second, each system interacts with other systems since they must be connected.